I have the program, it's in back, but I will bring the program out from that, and it has Oscar's signature in it. So I keep everything. So that summer I got to, it was Kent State that and colleges closed down. The festival was that summer, some students didn't come back, and I got to marionette perform on that, just miscellaneous puppeteering on that performance for the festival. It had puppets on display, better puppets than these. But anyway, so that started, and then I came to UConn undergraduate and graduate school. My marionette over here, Christian, who you'll see, was I created it in my senior year in marionette class with Frank Ballard, and that was my audition piece for my MFA. I had to perform. I performed "Sing God a Simple Song" from Bernstein's Mass. Let's see what else. I have to acknowledge one other person, a fellow student, Jan Rosenthal, who is no longer with us, but was my best friend. And she was so talented, graduated from UConn as an undergraduate, and applied to Muppets and went immediately to New York and worked for Jim Henson and the Muppets and went over to Muppet Show. In London, thank you. And she was dabbling, she bought a camera. And she said, "Richard, you should get a camera. I'm having the best time with this camera." That's how, so I bought the camera, emulating someone who I regarded with such esteem, and that started my playing with the camera. And then I finally said, there was a festival that Jim Henson did in Washington, D.C., an international puppetry festival, 1980, and I was teaching college at the time for a few years, and I went to this festival that summer, and I said, "Jan," I said, "can you get me an interview at Muppets?" And she called up to New York, and on the way back to Connecticut, stopped in New York, and I had an interview with Muppets and got a job for the summer, building on Sesame Street Live, the first. And I gave up my teaching, had a job for 2 months, was laid off, and then went back week to week at Muppets. And finally, the head of the workshop tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Would you like to work on Sesame Street? Would you like to work in the workshop?" And that started Sesame Street and working in the workshop. And during that time, we were documenting what we would build. We had a camera on set. We would be there to see the rigging of the puppets that we would build. And I saw a still photographer there. And I started taking photo classes, and I thought, photographing performance. And I said, freelance, even better. Little did I know.